Hello everybody, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. How are you? I'm warm now. I've got my big fleecy jumper on. It's kind of that in between weather, and we've put the heating on. We're all right. So we're going to work back in this journal. I went to Aldi like yesterday. I'm sorry there wasn't a video yesterday. I went to Aldi. I had a really long day at that company event, that charity event that I went to. For my service, and yeah, we'll use this one. And I was just so tired by the time we went to Aldi. They didn't have any papers. I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. And by the time we had dinner, I was like shivering. I was that tired, so I put myself to bed. So yeah, so we're going to have a page today, and I've got a little bits of ideas, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. That's, I think, can lead to something that's really good or really bad, but it doesn't matter. It's all part of the process, and it's kind of that continuing on from the conversation that we had about our why, because, like, you know, this is actually what I need today. Is I need to sit down and create something and think about what I want to create and have a little ponder and, you know, ponder on the why. Ponder on the wise woman bit. We've got strange noises in the background. That's because the cat has come in. Oh, he was crying outside the door, so I've left the door open. And he has this thing about being in company, but there's a bed by the side of me that's absolutely, it's got piles of things. There's nowhere for him to sit. Dodger, just sit on the floor. No, okay. He's a funny thing. He's a rescue cat. He's an indoor-outdoor cat. And in the summer, he's what we call a fair weather feral. So if it's not raining, he's outside and he doesn't want to know us unless he wants to be fed. But as soon as the weather gets a little bit inclement, so like it dips below 18 degrees outside, he's in. And he wants to be in company with somebody. And since I got ill, I was the chosen person. I'm sure next week it'll be somebody else. But there we go. And I close the craft room door because I tend to do that because of just people noise. We're not a very noisy household actually, but I just thought I'll close the craft room door, and he came out and he was just crying. So I just thought, well, okay. I'm sure he's settling down just outside the door. He's decided it's too untidy in here. And I agree with him. It is. But that's craft and go, dump and go. Not feeling very well. There's actually other priorities in the house before this gets cleaned and tidied up. But we'll see. We'll get to it. It always gets done. This is kind of not the best cutting in the world, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give an impression. I wanted like a solid black line. This card is amazing actually. It's another remnant of our photography business. Folders where sample photographs would be held. Like this. So it would be folded over. It's a really nice thick card, and it's very reminiscent. I have a few Victorian cabinet cards, so I'm thinking I might scan them in and print them off and mount them on that black card. That would be nice in journals rather than using the real McCoy as it was. So this is this lady who's an actual artist, but I took her out of this book that I got in a charity shop, Victorian Art World in Photographs, and there's lots of men in this. There's not very many, certainly not very many women artists. There's a whole section for mistresses. Yeah, thoughts and opinions, but not a lot for actual artists. So she is an actual artist. Let's see if I can try and find who she is, because perhaps it would be good to sort of I don't know if I can find her. No, it's not on this page, it's on this page. Mary Alexandra Wardlow. Okay, right, well, let's have that. That's who that is. So she was a Victorian artist. Looks like they're a family. Oh, so they are a daughter of a man called Alexander Hamilton Wardrow, who painted miniatures, whose 3 daughters also painted miniatures, and they all lived at the same London address. First in York Road, Acton, and then in Enmore Park, South Norwood, and they all, with the exception of Eleanor, exhibited at various dates at the Royal Academy. Mary, this one, continued to exhibit until 1914. Okay. Right then. Mary, we're going to have you. And I thought, what I did do before I switched the camera on, was I got 2 of the printables that were from the Graphics Fairy. And I used my matte medium, but I could have used my PVA glue. And I've just sort of glued the 2 pieces of paper together. And we're going to, I'm wondering if that's in the way. No, do that. We are going to do a sort of foldy thing. Now there's one that you can do that's really precise, and I've done it in my journal Julys, and I might well do it in this one. But I thought we would have a go at doing one that wasn't terribly precise. So we're going to start by just cutting along this edge. And I didn't dry it with the dryer. I actually put it on the radiator because there's a radiator next to me. There's a window kind of to my right, and then there's a radiator underneath. Which is quite good in the winter because you can pop things on to just dry. And I've switched the dehumidifier on in this room. I actually switched it on and then switched it off again because it makes like a whirring noise. So I thought, well, that won't be very good for videos. And when I'm in here and if I'm crafting on my own, I tend to have like a podcast on or something. Sometimes I don't, but you know, there's generally something else in the background. Okay, so we got this like Italian, looks like 1700s type affair. Then we've got Our Lady. I wonder if we should put a bit of gold around her as well. It's not going to hurt, is it? Not going to hurt. I have a little gold patch just to the side here where I do that with my pen. It's not going to be a very bright gold bit, but it'll still be a little bit of a touch. So it's Friday night. I have got a sort of a grasp on how many people I need to rebook for appointments, and I managed to rebook 4 appointments today, so that's good. I think I'm just going to have to suck it up and have like 5 appointments a day for a few, just sort of so that people are not having to wait, because otherwise they go right to the back of the queue and that's like 3 weeks away, which some people that's not going to be helpful to wait that long. So, but that's all right. My event yesterday was really good. So our service has turned 1 year old, and we had like people from the charity, people from the commissioners, basically that's like government bodies that sort of pay the charity for the service. They were there, and then we got clients, and I've got 2 of my clients to come along, and one of whom like did a little bit of a talky bit. And sort of just said how brilliant the support was, which like made me cry, because yeah, it was just really nice. But I was so tired by the end of it. I could have cried. I was that tired. Crying for a completely different reason, but yeah, there we go. So what I'm thinking is, I know it definitely has to fold up there-ish and there-ish. I want it to be something that you sort of discover. That's how I want it to kind of go in like that. Can I replicate that on the other side? Do I need to replicate that on the other side? I don't know. Well, it's all going to get really squished down. I just want to get an impression of it. So I want the middle bits. Middle bit. And I'm going to sort of decorate around the outside somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but okay. And what's good about doing this with a printable, it doesn't, it really doesn't matter. You can just reprint it. Particularly because it's all going to be crumpled up. Got bits of both sides showing. And then you would open it up and she's there. Ooh, I think I might have an idea about the outside bit as well. Right, I don't think I need anything else on the background there, so I'm going to stick her on to that. Where did we put that glue? So yeah, so I think I got a little bit overtired because I'm ill, and it was like my 2nd day back after being off for like a week and a half with COVID. And I'm not ill as in I'm not infectious, but I am sort of convalescing, you're not quite right. And if I didn't have these 2 clients turning up to this event, I don't think I would have gone. I think I would have asked, because I was given the option not to go. I would have asked not to go, which would have been a shame, because it was such an encouraging time. Like, everybody who works in the service, all the kind of people who do my job, and then all the managers, they were just so encouraged by the stories. There were stories from not just like my client, there were stories from other clients as well. That statements that were read out, and another lovely, beautiful lady who was talking about her experience, and it was just amazing. When you go into doing something like that, because it's a little bit, it's not experimental, but it's quite a new thing in mental health. And when I say quite a new thing, it's like 20 years old, and that is quite a new thing when you look at that mental health stuff. I'm not going to quite tell you what I do. I'll have to think about that, really. But I'm not a therapist, but what I do is therapeutic. It's weird. So yeah, it's kind of, and I'm not really trained to do it. It's kind of all about like, I am trained, but I'm not like, I don't have a degree in psychology or anything like that. Some people on my team have got masters in psychology and things. They're not. It's kind of really varied team. It's the most interesting job I've ever had. So anyway, it was just really good. It was just really good. Right, there's a few things I don't like, but I'm going to, I could go and get my distress inks out. Am I going to? I don't think so. I think we're just going to have a fiddle around. Oh, that might be too dark. Then let's get some of this before we get my distress inks out. If I don't like it, I'll rip it off. Oh, actually, I quite like it. Okay. I like it with a green, actually. What does Bob Ross say? Happy little accidents. Got any more edges for edges? So, right. So we've got this lady. She's in here. This is all a bit crusty and grungy. Got some water on the table at the side of me. So we're going to do this, which is going to be a bit Halloween-y. There might be something else that's a bit fall-y. I'd like to do some sort of decorations. I was going to decorate the house for Halloween, but I don't think I'll manage that now. Just because I've got to get the house straight. So, and the way I feel, I'm like, it's not going to be straight until I put the Christmas tree up. So I might put the Christmas tree up a little bit early, but not decorate it. Just put lights on it, just so they have the ambiance, as we say. Okay, so I like that, but that's not enough. Now, I've got some words. I went into my little box of words, so I do have some words, and I just pulled them out without thinking about the photograph. So should we see if anything corresponds? So I like the word magic. There's always more magic. Okay, we could have that. That could be like the pull to open it up somehow. Okay, we'll keep that to one side. What have we got? Excitedly. Caught a glimpse. Oh, could have caught a glimpse of magic. Caught a glimpse. I quite like the idea of that. I think we'll have that instead of always more magic. Wondered greatly. Is there anything better? Laughing with glee. A pretty creature. Wonderful. What's that? Wild. Okay. No. So we've got these two bits. We're going to stick with those two bits. We are going to, in here, get some background bits and pieces. So we'll have a couple of labels. Oh, we might have that writing. Yeah, that looks good. We can have a clock. Tracy labels. Oh, I've definitely got a brain thing going on, but that's alright. I'll come across another colour. Now, I was thinking of this because she painted miniatures. Now, obviously she's not painted this, and this was a thing apparently in the Georgian times, and if you can see, it's a little pin, and you would have your lover's eye painted up, and then it would be put somewhere secret, you know, so you could see it, or you would display it somehow. So yeah, there's that. And it reminds me, when my husband was a photographer, he did this charity photo shoot, and it meant that like your images were sold at Bonham's in London, which is like a very exclusive auction house. And we got to go and have like a champagne reception at Bonham's, and that was a nice memory. It was my eye, and then that became the logo of the business, which is a bit sad, but still there was there's nice memories attached to it. Okay, we've got lots of labels, and we've got that. So I don't know if we have that. That could be part of the pull, or is that too much? Do we have that in the background? Let's just have a play. I'll do, I think, a bit more fussy cutting so that there's not that white edge. Sometimes when I do my fussy cutting, I'll leave a white edge on even if I don't intend on doing it, because it just sort of protects the image. The paper I'm currently using, and I don't know if I will continue to use that, it's an Eco one from Xerox, and it was cheap as chips. It was like 4 or 5 big reams for £20. So like, I don't know how much that is in other money, but I thought it was quite cheap. So because we've still got, because I quite like that, because we've got caught a glimpse. See, there's something intriguing about that. That could be on another page though. It could be on another page. Okay, thinking it through, but I like process. Hope you like process, because you'll stick around. Like, okay. What was I thinking? I was thinking of having the labels sort of, again, this is what I do with the labels. I'll cut them out as a square, but I will turn them into this sort of, you know, it's not a hexagon, but you know, shape. Words fail me. Yeah. So I was thinking a lot about like the wise woman thing, and I was thinking again about our why, and it was really funny, because even that it was ironic really, because I didn't know this is what the client would sort of say, would have some similar thoughts to some of the things that we talked about in the previous video, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it was just so, it was good, just really good. Are we keeping it monochrome? I think we might do, you know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, we like that. Do we like the letter? We do like the letter. Do we want anything around the letter? Do we want some gold around the letter? I don't know if we do. So these little labels are all Tracy labels. So that's Tracy Fox Creative. She's on YouTube and she's really good. She does printable stuff, and some of her things are made entirely from printables, but she also has these really good little videos where, you know, she encourages you to make your own stuff, which is initially, that's what I started watching of hers before I really got, well, before I bought the printer. I used to print the odd thing off, which would be her labels on our like household printer, but I wouldn't want to print like anything substantial off it. Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah, I really like that. Do I want to, I don't think I do want to go around that letter with gold. You know, I don't think I do. Okay. Let's move that off there. And let's just do some simple sticking. Might reorganise it a little bit. There we go. Tell I'm concentrating more because I'm not talking as much. Thank you for your responses that I got. There were some lovely comments, and just what I want. I kind of like want that connection and talk about like our whys, and I don't want us to be like I think just thoughtful. It doesn't have to, not taking itself too seriously, but just, you know, yeah, just thoughtful. A thoughtful community, really. Yeah, so that was really encouraging too. So despite not feeling very well, actually it's been a really good week because of you guys, because of work. Did we have this on a little bit of a tilt? I think we did. Yeah, like that. So I just wanted it, I didn't want to do anything to the background. I was like, should I get my sprays out? And I was like, no, we don't have to do everything. Everything doesn't have to be mixed media. And sometimes this is just the ticket. This is just exactly what you want to do, is just a bit of sticking. It's quite childish, isn't it, really? Like, I mean, you're making collages. Matisse, when he lost his sight, you know, used to make collages rather than paintings. So it doesn't, you know, it isn't childish in that sense, but it's sort of, well, it's childlike. It's not a reductive thing. It's kind of, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay, I think I want a moth or something. Yeah, I want something that'll encourage you to lift that up. Okay, we're going to stick this down anyway, because then it's done. So if you didn't have printables, you could have done this with book pages. You know, like I got the picture from a book. These bits could have been book pages, like old dictionary paper. Modern pages that you've tea dyed, you know, it would have a very similar feel. Just do a check on the cat. Oh, he's gone downstairs because he's been ignored. That's all right. Okay. So we want some sort of butterfly or moth or creature. I mean, it could be one of them beetles, couldn't it? Could it? Kinda, I mean, that is quite beautiful, but I don't know if that's what I want. I don't know what I want. Another one. No, I don't think I want those. I think I do want a butterfly. What have I done with my butterflies? There's these type of butterflies in here. There's the napkin. I really should put that big bit underneath. Oh. Oh yeah, I like that. Because we do have this, that type. Oh, that type, no, I think I like that one. That's the piles of stuff behind me, so that Dodger can't sit anywhere. I've not done it deliberately so he can't sit anywhere, but although you would have thought so, wouldn't you? Pitifulness. I think I want it just on one edge. I think I might want it mounted onto something else as well. This is where your journal begins to get really thick. Just to sort of protect it. Okay, it's going to get mounted twice onto, I've got some card down here. So I've got like a basket of scraps and card sort of on the floor next to me, and then I've got various bins that I put things in. The bins need to be emptied. And I've got my antiques, antique stuff as well. Okay. Let's stick, that one can go on that side, and then it's got, yep. So this is already, it's napkin that's been backed, just PVA glued onto, book page, and then I fussy cut out the butterflies to create the elements. And so that also, because you can, when you look at it close, you'll see the writing coming through. You won't be able to read what it is. It's just that there's writing there, and that's quite helpful. Okay, this one does need, because it's a bit see-through, yeah, it needs to go on that, and then doubling it up. Oh, can we find another one of these labels? Okay. I can hear the cat's downstairs because Miles is talking to him. You can probably hear him talking to him now. That feels a lot more substantial. Okay, so this is going to be a really, really big chunky monkey by the time we've finished. I won't make, a lot of the pages won't be this chunky, and I will like go over it with a bone folder, I think. So we've got that. We've got this, which is the butterfly. And really I'm putting, it sounds strange, but because of the bulk of that, that's why I am reinforcing this with card. If it wasn't so bulky, I probably wouldn't. I would probably think, oh, that's enough because it's got the book page behind it. And its shape as well is quite, there's some delicate bits to it. So I might cut the little black bits off at the bottom. Still might do that when I get to it. Yeah, so I hope you've had an alright week. Like I said, my week's been good. It's been good. It's been a bit difficult getting back over the COVID and getting back to work. I'm glad, because I was umming and ahhing about whether to cancel my annual leave and just try and get back to it on a Monday. And I'm glad I didn't do that. I still have to work on those advent calendars. They're not quite finished. That's a task for the weekend. It'll get done. But be done in plenty of time. I was wondering why I've got COVID, because we've had COVID in this house before and I've not got it. And I think the variant must be different, like more catchable. And I hadn't had my injection yet. I don't think I'm going to now because, like, well, I've had it. So go. There we go. They've got a tiger by the tail. Can you hear it? He's a much loved cat. So I just have to do something about this back. Now, have we got another one of these? So if we have, that would just be very simple. Stick it on the top, one with a lot of writing on it. That's exactly what I want. Let's do that. I'm not adding too much more bulk now. There we go. So I hope you've had a good week. And are you continuing your thoughts about your why? Is it something that you'd not, you hadn't thought about? Or, I don't know if you need to think about it. just move that off there. Yeah. It's just been really interesting. I don't mind the fact that you can see little bits behind that because it is actually going to get stuck down. So now we need to decide about where we're going to put this butterfly, how we're going to do this butterfly. I kind of like those numbers, but I don't think it's all... that works. Kind of want to keep the number. I tell you, I wore makeup for the first time in like a year yesterday. I don't tend to wear it. I didn't really much in my 20s, I think. I think that's probably why I don't, you know. I gave myself a few collagen masks running up to it because I felt like I looked like something not been live for a long time, or not, you know, not of this world. I felt really kind of rough. So yeah, it was interesting wearing makeup again. Just because we were told, I mean, this sounds like I'm a slob. I'm not a slob, I just don't like wearing makeup. And I dress smart casually when I'm out, really. I've only got one band t-shirt. I don't really, you know, I do wear jeans, but I'll wear a nice top. But I put a nice Bowden dress on, put some makeup on, looked like an adult. Right, I think this bit is going to stick onto here. So that means we're going from here. That's going to stick down. And I think that this is like, I remember, because I've done some like folding things and I've done some origami things, you know, that are sort of very regimented. And this is sort of my answer to that, you know, like the other way around, that you can still make something that's quite interactive and interesting. But you don't really have to measure anything. Don't have to be precise with your folding. You just have to like squidge it up. Keep using that bone folder. See if it works. I'm sure it will. Well, actually, I should probably wait for the glue to dry. But yeah, it does work. But wait for the glue to dry, Lindsay. But it will work. That's good. Alright. Wait for the glue to dry. Think about the outside. I like to put a border on things. I might actually use this. It's my aqua markers that I don't really use that often. Oh, I like that. It's kind of sepia colour, isn't it? Oh, got a bit on there. Not going to worry about that. Bit of water on. Why not? Spray a bit more on the table. Especially it's got a bit of green in it, this brush. This craft paper's really holding on to it. It's not reacting in the same way as, you know, how it reacted with a paper. But that's alright. That's absolutely fine. I still soften that edge. Right then. Is it glued on now? Yeah, it has. Do I need another one here? No, I think we're alright. I think we know what to do. We know what to do. So there she is. Now we have that little bit of information, don't we? What have I done with a little bit of information? I will find it and I will stick it in, because I think we've probably done enough now. For our Mary. Things are about to get noisy. I can tell behind me. So there we go. That's our second page that we've done, but it's like quite a lot in. It's making a little bit of bulk with it, but every page is not going to be like that, and I don't mind if it like bulks out, you know, quite considerably. That's why I got the tie to tie it up with. There we go. That's today's page. Thank you very much. If you want to win, can I reach over and get it, or will I cause a craft avalanche? Advent calendar. It's going to be full of vintage button, slow stitch and junk journal goodness. So we've got a mini journal there. These are things I need to wrap. I've got a sewing thing. There is a strawberry that needs to be finished, or I'll find another one that is finished. And then badge. We've not done these yet on Slow Stitch Sundays, and we will do. And then there's loads of bits and pieces to make a stitch scroll in there as well. So those are just a few of the things that are going to be in the advent calendar here. We also have ones that will be for sale on the Etsy shop soon that are bigger, but they have more stuff in it, but it's very similar stuff. The book itself is a Victorian book. Has a message from Father Christmas on the inside. That's why it's got this sleeve to sort of protect it. So there we go. If you want to win this, you need to be subscribed to the channel. You need to press like and comment on this video, and then every other video you comment on running up to November will be classed as another entry. We're going to do something with Excel to get all the names off, put them in a hat, pull out a name. There we go. It's been really lovely chatting to you. It's been really lovely creating with you, and I would love to hear about your creations. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye bye.